This year has seen an unprecedented number of youngsters taking part in the national elections through social media. With over 65% of India's population under 35 years and around 15% of the national electorate under 24 years as first-time voters, the youth is going to play a major factor in the 2014 Lok Sabha elections. We talked to some young people in Delhi to get an idea of what their criteria will be to elect a candidate. What matters more for them? Class, caste, creed, political affiliation, or the character of the candidate? This is what they had to say.
In choosing a candidate, I would be seeing the party which the candidates belong to and what ideology and what manifesto they have for this election, and also we'll be seeing how much they actually practice that. So we need to see how much that the party which the manifesto they are giving out this year and how much they have done it in the past and how have been their attitude towards these issues.
The candidate who is just and who is socially beneficial for the whole society, then I'll be selecting that candidate.
There are two things I would want to say over here. See, the trend that is going right now is that the masses are up for a particular leader. But what is also important is to see that that particular leader could be the prime ministerial candidate. But with him comes a whole cabinet, right? And I think that is not being, accounted for. So before choosing the leader, I would rather choose the party based on the candidates, based on, the ideology as well as the candidates.
What matters to you basically is how your candidate, after winning the election, how does he perform. So for that, the character is which matters the most. Caste and creed are not important for us.
I don't care about it.
Caste and creed don't matter. Character definitely does matter of the candidate. Unfortunately, what we have to choose between is which one do we want to go for more, the candidate or the party. So probably the party ideology is very, pro what I want to vote for.
I think for me, I have to offer this character because now we are educated not like 40s, 1950s. Like you have to move by the caste or creed because you come from a different caste, then everyone will follow. But now people are educated. Now they can think liberally, so they know their choice. I think for me also I choose character.
This election will be a chance for them to select what party they are going to choose for the next election, and that will affect the education policies which are implemented by the center. This year the system which have lot of changes in DU, we have seen the semester system, 4-year system, and there are more changes coming about for the post-graduation too. So this will be what all these policies which are made by the central government. So this election is a chance for the student community to choose their representatives who will be taking the decisions and managing these policies.
I think there is no problems for students exactly for this election. But as a whole, the problems with the students, problems which are faced by students are the accessibility to the education itself. There are so many states and so many villages, still there is no power, there is no education, there is no any water sanitation or something like that. So it would be a prominent criteria for this election and all.
In terms of issue, number one would be more government institutions. And not only more government institutions, the recruitment of personnel should be made more transparent and more efficient. So that is one thing, more transparency in the whole education system in totality. Despite RTI and despite everything, there is still scope for much more betterment in that. Number two, more focus should be on employability. And the final issue, this is a tricky one because these two were the main. about issues that we choose to neglect on a daily basis.
In university, we don't feel free. Like, they are crossing the limits. Like, such kind of banning of books. Like, the political parties, what they are doing is like,
Student parties.
yeah, student parties. Like, suppose a writer or creative writers, we should support because they have reached up to that level and they write such a thing, or artists or whatever. Because now in India is political parties or something board, they censor or they kind of repress such kind of creative thinking or new thought. So I think political parties, like, they should not involve in such kind of thing.